train from Dresden to Prague. This is the dining car. We are now in the Czech Republic. Here we are in Prague. Prague tram. We're outside the Vladislav City Centre apartments, where we're staying in Prague. Nardoni Street in Prague. A Thai procession, world peace. I think that's a picture of the king that they're holding up there. Wenceslas Square. The Noah's Ark exhibition at the Czech National Museum. The retro exhibition at the National Museum. So on the left was 50s fashion, here is 1920s fashion. And over here is 1930s fashion. Orientalism in the West. So some of these objects are retro. So some of these retro objects were made back several decades ago, but some of them are new products made in a retro style, which has come back in vogue.
Yeah. Easy for froggers. Oh, what?
Toy exhibition at the National Museum. So, here we go. It's the Prague street food. The Havelski Market. This is the old town square in Prague.
I imagine
Good. So this is the entry of the old town hall in the Prague Old Square. More of the old town square. Carriages at the old town square. Astronomical clock. The Mazel Synagogue. The restaurant Katra, where we're having our first lunch in Prague. So at this Czech restaurant, Katra, they have these stoves in the middle. It's like a Korean restaurant, and you know there's Korean writing on there, so that's quite curious. Restaurant Pilsner, our first beer in Prague, 500 mils. Veal tongue and dumpling. And over here we have bucket confit, red cabbage and potato pancakes. The northern part of the Jewish district. An interesting building in the Jewish district. Banks of the river in Prague. Prague. Canal Pavilion. The park around Hanau Pavilion. Heading west towards the palace, sort of along the river. Looking at Prague from the Prague Castle. Prague Castle. St. Vitus Cathedral at Prague Castle. St. Vitus Cathedral. The western entrance of Prague Castle. Well guarded too. Uva Street, just down from Prague Castle.
So it will be half a minute, yeah?
Trodelnik, traditional Czech dessert, no? Pastry dessert. Thank you. Starts down here at the bottom when they first make it, and it gradually moves its way up to the top, and then the dough cooks and browns and hardens, and it'll be very nice. St. Nicholas Church. So this is St. Nicholas Church. It's not that far from the Prague Castle. So the street on which we're staying is the site of an old Jewish cemetery, harking back to the 13th century. Restaurant Visipu. Nebeltrobany Lezak, unfiltered beer. Borscht. Okay, this is potato dumplings, and this is the fried cheese, and here is the steak bavorak. Together, these are two popular Czech
Are you ready? Not yet.
seasonings / condiments. They're both these dark, kind of savoury, non-viscous sauces, but they've got slightly different flavours. It's kind of hard to characterise. Probably a little bit like Maggi seasoning, but a little bit different. And both of them are, yes, in fact, different from each other. This is the funicular railway up to Petrin Park. This railway line was built in 1891 for the Jubilee exhibition. Petrin Park. Petrin Park Observation Tower. Northeast from Petrin Park Tower. North from Petrin Park Tower. Northwest from Petrin Park Tower. East from Petrin Park Tower. West from Petrin Park Tower. We are in the Mirror Maze. Wow. So this is Prague students fighting against the Swedes on Charles Bridge in 1648. They have long legs. Now we got long heads, ain't that right, boy? Cyclops. Cyclops. That Tyson, too many dumplings, too much goulash. Dwarf Tyson. Here's Fat Dwarf Tyson with elongated head. So there's Fatur Max. The Hunger Wall. The fortifications built around the southern edge of the little quarter on the orders of Charles IV in 1360 to 62 have been known for centuries as the Hunger Wall. Near 1,200 metres of the wall have survived, complete with crenellated battlements and platform for marksmen on the inner side. Fed European cat, or it could be pregnant. Yeah, Strahov Monastery. When it was founded in 1140 by an austere religious order, the Premonstratensians, Strahov rivaled the seat of the Czech sovereign in size. So we were previously looking at the Church of Our Lady, and now at Strahov Monastery, these are the Baroque towers. There's one behind this one, well, identical towers, and then over here is the Museum of National Literature. Better view of the two Baroque towers. Now, this monastery, the Strahov Monastery, was destroyed by fire in 1258, and it was rebuilt in the Gothic style with later Baroque additions. Nice stroll down the hill from Strahov Monastery. It's just a green area. I'm not sure what these trees are, but yeah. Planted in a very organised fashion. Restaurant. First kosher Jewish restaurant we've ever been to. Shalamu restaurant. On the inside. So today at the Shalamu restaurant we're going to get the falafel platter as well as grandma's pie. Placemat at the Shalamu restaurant. Falafel platter. pita breads. Mama's pie. Also ordered ourselves a slice of honey cake to go. Rudolph Finum concert hall. So this is an exhibition called Logic. Selected works by Eberhard Haberkost, born 1967 in Dresden, from the last 10 years. The author works with materials that surround us in our daily lives and or mediated reality. So more about Eberhard Haberkost, who lives in Berlin. It is said his meticulous painting is based on TV and printed advertisement together with his own photographs, which regularly capture motifs of nature, portraiture and human figure, as well as architecture. Looks like 8-bit art in monochrome. This painting sold for $274 million to the royal family of Qatar. So this is Charles Square. It offers a peaceful and welcome retreat. Some of the buildings around the square belong to the university, and the statues in the center represent writers and scientists, reflecting the academic environment. This is Eliska Krasnohorska, 19th century poet who wrote the libretti for Smetana's operas. The statue of her was put up here in 1931. This is the Church of St. Ignatius. With its wealth of gilding and flamboyant stucco decoration, St. Ignatius is typical of the Baroque churches built by the Jesuits to impress people with the power and glamour of their faith. St. Ignatius Church. Okay, this is Jesuit College. Founded in the mid-17th century, this imposing building has been a hospital since the suppression of the Jesuits in 1773. That's the ambulance. So this is Faust House. Prague thrives on legends of alchemy and pacts with the devil, and this Baroque mansion has attracted many. It's been a house here since the 14th century when it belonged to Prince Vaclav of Opava, an alchemist and naturalist historian. In the 16th century it was owned by alchemist Edward Kelly. Chemical experiments of Count Ferdinand Mladota of Solopsky, who owned the house in the mid-18th century, gave rise to its association with the legend of Faust. Looks like they've got an alchemy club in the complex. Church of St. John on the Rock is one of Prague's smaller Baroque churches. St. John on the Rock is one of Kilian Ignatiensenhofer's most daring designs. His twin square towers are set at a sharp angle to the church's narrow facade, and the interior is based on an octagonal floor plan. The view of St. John on the Rock Church. Slavonic Monastery, MOZ. Both the monastery and its church were almost destroyed in the American air raid in 1945. During their reconstruction, the church was given a pair of modern reinforced concrete spires. The monastery was founded in 1347 for the Croatian Benedictines, whose services were held in the Old Slavonic language, hence its name Na Slavonec. The statue of Jan Perknik, an eminent physiologist and pioneer of cell theory, was erected in 1961. It is the most recent of the many memorials in Charles Square. So at this food stand we're going to get a Dokonali burger and a bratwurst hot dog. Prague trams. This is the new town hall. Two interesting statues in each corner. So over here we have this long-lived Rabbi Lou and his story, and then to the left we have the Iron Man, a local ghost condemned to roam the old town after murdering his mistress. At Knights of the Cross Square. This small square in front of the old town bridge, which is here, offers fine views across the Vltava. On the north side is the Church of St. Francis. Here you go. Once part of the monastery of the Crusading Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. In summer, concerts and popular classical Baroque music take place in this beautiful Baroque church. This is the Old Town Bridge in Prague. We are looking west across the river to Prague Castle. Part of the Great Wall of China. We're on the grounds of the Naprosek Museum. So, Wojciech Naprosek, art patron and philanthropist, created this museum as a tribute to modern industry following the decade of exile in America after the 1848 Revolution. On his return in 1862, inspired by London's Victorian museums, he began his collection. The Papua New Guinea exhibition. I didn't know it, but the island of New Guinea is the largest tropical island in the world. A couple of different penis sheaths here. Spear thrower, club, axe, and another type of club from Papua New Guinea. Aha, beetle nut chewing. Part of the Papua New Guinea or New Guinea exhibition, I should say. So in some tribes, they retain the skulls of their ancestors, and other ones they mummify the ancestors. And they'll be decorated. Quite interesting. Ancestor skulls. More from New Guinea. Boomerangs at the Australian exhibition. The Oceania exhibition. I've got artifacts from some really remote Pacific islands here. The Tibet exhibition. Looks like the daggers from the Uncharted 2 computer game. Right, the Prague Beer Museum. Woo! Czech beer today. Most interesting, like the Czechs rank right up the top. A modern brewery. Pub from the golden age of beer, brewing and drinking in the Czech Republic in the latter half of the 19th century. An example of a pub in the communist era. The beer museum includes complimentary beer tasting of these 4 beers here. So there's light, non-filtered, semi-dark and dark. Now when they said tasting, we thought, we just get like a small cup of each or something, but they give each of us, Mish and I, one of these sets. And we're thinking, this is just a tasting, is it? Alright, Prost. Some relaxing TV to watch as we taste the 4, they're probably mini-size glasses of beer that we've been given for tasting here. Very enjoyable entertainment here in the Czech Republic. So this is the Zlatý Dvor restaurant. We've headed for lunch after seeing the beer museum, where we were given a tasting sample of beer which equaled almost a litre. Here is the big Czech plate, which has roast pork, duck breast and rabbit fillet, as well as red cabbage and 2 kinds of dumplings, as well as spicy beef goulash. And Czech plate. Melantrikova Street, popular tourist district. At one end of the Old Town Square stands the massive monument of the religious reformer and Czech hero Jan Hus. Hus was burned at the stake after being pronounced a heretic by the Council of Constance in 1415. So these are the crazies of Prague. So this is Seleta Street, one of the oldest streets in Prague. Seleta follows an old trading route from eastern Bohemia. Its name comes from the plated bread rolls that were first baked here in the Middle Ages. It gained prestige in the 14th century as a section of the royal route used for coronation processions. Powder Gate. There's been a gate here since the 11th century, and it formed one of the 13 entrances to the old town. In 1475, King Vladislav II laid the foundation stone of the new tower, as it was to be known. Municipal House. Prague's most prominent Art Nouveau building stands on the site of the former royal court palace, the king's residence between 1383 and 1485. Another Art Nouveau building along Narodny Street. National Theatre, the traditional. National Theatre Complex. It says here this gold crested theatre has always been an important symbol of the Czech cultural revival. Now I'm just panning across here to the New Stage Auditorium. As I pan around, we'll say that work started in 1868, that's of the old auditorium, and funded largely by voluntary contributions. The original neo-Renaissance design was by the Czech architect Josef Zitek. After its destruction by fire, Josef was given the job of rebuilding the theatre, and all the best Czech artists of the period contributed to its lavish and spectacular decoration, namely this building here, which is the original, well, the traditional auditorium. Slovanský Ostrov Island on the river Vltava. Amphibious vehicle. Looking east onto the mainland from Slovanský Ostrov Island. So we're looking west across the river. Now that up there is the Hunger Wall. Now the Hunger Wall has a positive story. Basically Charles IV in its construction used it as a means to give employment to the poor during a famine period, so effectively helping them feed themselves and their families. This is the Pivovar Narodny Brewery restaurant. So this is more of the restaurant Pivovar, which is next to the National Theatre. Coca-Cola, the Czech version of Coca-Cola, poured by tap. Wow, there's steak tartare.
Brewed in beer.
Pickled speck, sausage with onion and chili. Pekova Street Markets. Church of St. Cyril and Method. the Church of St. Cyril and Method, founded in 1854. Kalinsky Square. So we're next to Danube House here, and what they've done is they've got rocks, put them out the front and chopped them in half. Chop. We wonder what the purpose of the way they've worked out this river system is. You can always Google and look it up, I suppose. More of the waterworks. Evolution Street. Hobo Park. Home Restaurant near Revolution Street. We're having suckling pig knee and barley risotto. And for starters, we're having foie gras. Foie gras. The barley risotto. And the pork knee. The convent of St. Agnes. Church of the Holy Saviour, an important resting place for prominent families of royal lineage. St. Agnes Cathedral in a courtyard. The final resting place of one of the kings, Wenceslas. The lapidarium of St. Agnes Convent. These sculptures from the 13th to 15th centuries have been actually set up here so blind people can get a feel for what they look like, and all these plaques here also have braille on them. That's very considerate. Some of the grounds of St. Agnes Convent. And just over here to my right is the stage.